should sit them. And a lot of situations I'm not a big fan of. So we'll get started in a minute. Just got to share the link. More people, more questions. Last minute, start them, sit them, people. Let's get some questions in here. How about you guys started off today? If you guys started off today, start flooding, or I'm just going to talk my shit. So we got people in here, 13, 14 people in here right now. So what's good, P2W? What up, my guy? I'm going to start off with my boy Jonnu Smith. I think this is going to be a good bounce back week for him. I think this is going to be something we've been looking for, something that we've been hoping that he can keep doing. He dealt with an ankle injury, and then, you know what I mean? And then he had a down game where he didn't put up big points. He was targeted probably twice in the red zone, and a total of 4 targets, only 2 catches that one game. So it's kind of like this is the bounce back game that we need from Jonnu Smith going against the Cincinnati Bengals, who are ranked 30th against the tight ends. So this should be a nice little plug and play into your lineups this week with Jonnu Smith. He started off the season on fire, people. We were happy to have him. We were happy to get him late in the rounds. We were happy to get him in like the 10th, 11th or beyond round. This week, we'll be happy. This is a breath of fresh air, dealing with all these injuries, dealing with people having quarterback issues, which is my next guy down there. My next tight end is Dalton Schultz. Andy Dalton took a nasty hit to the head, concussion protocol. He is not going to be playing. I definitely don't like the QB situation. If it ain't Dak, I'm not liking Schultz. I'm not liking Gallup at all, which is next to, Schultz down there for the sit. Gallup has been very underwhelming this season. I don't know how he goes from the wide receiver 1 to now possibly the wide receiver 3, and I definitely don't like him this week. And I feel like it's a division game. Honestly, I feel like the QB situation, what's holding me back from even touching any Cowboys, player. I had a trade offer, asked me the other day. They were trying to get rid of Amari Cooper. Actually, they were trying to get Amari Cooper, and kind of told them to hold off. Let's wait and see. Amari Cooper obviously is the wide receiver 1 there. That's a full send there. He's, the top dog there. He's going to see all the targets, seeing double-digit targets. In this situation, it's weird. You can go with volume is key. You can say that because I know we love volume. We love the guy that's going to get like double-digit targets a game. Probably bring out 7 of those catches. 10 out of 7, I'll take that. You know what I mean? 10 targets, 7 catches. So I do like that. But the issue here is how productive they're going to be, how much of relying are they going to be on touchdown dependent for them to put up fantasy relevant points. That's my issue there. So right now, moving forward, I'm going to pump the brakes on all Cowboys players, all wide receivers, tight ends, etc. Zeke, I think is going to be fine. Excuse me. The only way the Cowboys are going to win games if they solely rely on the run. If they just full send it with Zeke, I think they will be in good shape. The check down to Zeke, getting the ball in Zeke's hands where he can make the plays, to be, the sole player that's the big top elite running back, bring him back to that Pro Bowl run. You know what I mean? And I really just don't like how they're trying to move away from Zeke, to not actually move away, but balance Zeke out. Like, why? Why would we do that? But we'll see what happens. But we got a question from Dustin. What's up, my dude? 2 out of 9 Reagor Williams. We are using 1 Goddard, Reagor, any eggs in 1 basket. I think Reagor has an okay game today, believe it or not. Going against Dallas, and Dallas defense we know about. It's not a secret. They are trash. I really like Reagor, coming from injury. They said he's going to be out for 3 weeks, and, he's out for a month. But I think he has an okay game. I'm not putting all my eggs in the basket on Reagor. But, man, Goddard also returning back, which is a nice breath of fresh air for guys who are sitting there hurting that tight end. Mike Williams, man, oh man, goddamn. Mike Williams only is relevant with Keenan Allen off the field, and honestly, I don't really see Mike Williams having too much of a great game. But I do like Denver this week, but it's a division game. Those are kind of weird, so I'm not really rocking with Mike Williams this week. So next topic I want to jump on real quick. Chase Claypool, man. It was nice knowing you, basically. So Deontay Johnson is healthy. Put up a 30-burger last week, and Chase Claypool put up negative points, people. And I honestly think, Deontay Johnson plays a big role into Chase Claypool not being productive. And honestly, it helps Juju Smith-Schuster as well. So the separation and just the more physical wide receiver. I know we see Claypool as a big stud and can make plays out of the backfield, rushing the ball and et cetera. But Deontay Johnson you can't miss him. You can't let him fly under the radar for defenses because he's going to blow up. And when he does, puts up 30 points. So I definitely like, Deontay Johnson, division game also against Baltimore today. I definitely think Claypool, we need to take a step back and relax and wait and see what happens. And honestly, we only seen Chase Claypool relevant when Deontay Johnson was hurt. So I definitely want to keep an eye on that. Want to keep an eye on that snap share, the opportunities of the targets and et cetera, who's Big Ben is favoring in the red zone, et cetera. Chase Claypool, he could be just slowly declining as fast as he, rose to the occasion to be that guy. So I will probably sit Chase Claypool this week, start Deontay Johnson this week, and roll the dice. Because how many people you guys left Deontay Johnson on the bench? I was one of them. I sat him on my bench, being that he came back from a back injury, and I wasn't too sure how that would go. And then I started him 2 weeks before that, you know what I mean? And then he caught an ankle injury in the game, so he was out first quarter. So that's definitely something that I didn't want to get burned on. And the back issue is kind of something that I'm a little worried about that lingers. But we'll see what happens, man. He seems healthy. He seems like he's explosive. Seems like he didn't skip a beat. So he's definitely a full send. Moving on. Tua, first start. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of Tua starting this week, man. I'm not trying to be biased. I'm not trying to be a homer, but I wouldn't want my, rookie quarterback going against a stud defense, my Rams, who are literally top 5 in defense right now, I believe, and all around the board. But it's like, why would you have Tua start? That's like setting him up for success, but it's not. It's like you're trying to do this feel-good story. Like, yeah, he looked good. I didn't see anything, that was like crazy from him for him to get the start over Fitz. It was kind of just like, what? Like at first I thought Fitz was like, yeah, give the kid a shot. Fitz already knew, like, yeah, this isn't my job to keep. I'm going to groom him. I'm going to mentor him and be the veteran voice. Eventually, he'll get on the field. But this soon, it was kind of like, why? Fitz was killing it. He was top 10 in yardage. So I definitely don't understand how the hell you sit him over Tua. It doesn't make sense. Tua this week, I see a lot of people running to the waivers or, happy they stashed him and he's going to throw him in the starting lineups this week. Against the Rams, nah, man. I don't think that was a good idea. I really don't think that was a good idea. And honestly, they're gonna end up hurting his confidence. You know what I mean? He's gonna take a bad loss this week, and then when he takes that loss, it's gonna just hurt his development. And you know what I mean? This is a great experience for a rookie to jump in and then boom, you're gonna full send him into a stud defense. Nah, man. Fantasy wise, I don't think Tua is gonna be relevant this week. I don't think Tua is gonna put up like 4 or 5 touchdowns or whatever when we've seen from Herbert. But it's kind of like the Dolphins are like, look, we see what Burrow's doing. We see what Herbert's doing. Let's throw the kid in and see what happens. So I don't really understand that, putting him up against, a defense like this. Next, I'm going to talk about covered that. I like Mike Evans this week. I definitely like Mike Evans against the Giants this week. I will say this, Antonio Brown is coming. He's real. He's actually playing in the league and he's practicing, which is weird as hell to say. He got what he wanted. He's with Brady. I think Godwin, he's going to be hurt every now and again. We kind of accepted that from Godwin. But I think Mike Evans takes a huge hit with AB. I don't think Godwin too much, but let's enjoy Mike Evans while we can. Let's enjoy Mike Evans while he's being the red zone target, while he's getting the touchdowns, while he's getting some of these yardage. But let's enjoy it while we can. And I think this will probably be the last week where we'll get like big points from, facing the Giants. Now, on the flip side of the ball, the opponent, now Devontae Freeman is out with an ankle injury, and a lot of people are going to Wayne Gallman, whatever his name is. They are jumping ship to go put him into starting lineups. I know you're probably a Saquon owner, and that hurt can never go away. You know what I mean? But damn, still sucks because I was a Barkley owner as well. But this week he's facing the number 1 rushing defense. That is not a smart play, people. You need to play guys like this based on matchups. This is not the matchup. I want to full send any Giants running back. You know what I mean? This will be the worst week to do that. This will be the week that you'll end up taking a huge L. You're going to take a hit at points. You put up like 6-7 points or maybe less, and against the Bucs. So it's going to be an aired out show. And I don't think they're going to run the ball much, with Freeman hurt and out. So that's definitely something, you need to keep into consideration that, this isn't the game to do that. But yeah, moving on. Who else I got? Boston Scott, obviously coming off of a great week, full send it. Dallas division game, full send it. No need to go in depth about that. J.K. Dobbins, man, Mark Ingram is dealing with a high ankle sprain. He's going to be out for a while. Gus Edwards, man, he's the pest really to J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins definitely needs that opportunity. He needs to show up and show out, but he's splitting these carries between Ingram and Gus Edwards. And now with Ingram out, we're probably hoping and praying, like, damn, can we get J.K. Dobbins the ball? Can we get him to be relevant? I know we're still living off of that. I think it was week 1 or week 2 where J.K. Dobbins put up 2 touchdowns and he put up fantasy relevant points. So everybody's looking like a genius, like, yo, hell yeah, man. J.K. Dobbins is real. He's going to be a red zone threat. He's going to be this and this and that. And then we just been lingering with J.K. for the last 8 weeks, not knowing what to really do with him, not knowing like what to actually like think. You know what I mean? Like week to week, what up, bro? And it's like J.K., I don't like him this week going against a stud run defense. They are number 2, Pittsburgh. I definitely hate the matchup. I don't think that J.K. is going to put up fantasy relevant points. And again, he's not going to help you win today. He's not going to help you bring home the goal. He's not going to help you get a dub. So I definitely think he could hurt you in a way for a guy that you have in your bench that can possibly put up points. What's up, Alex? I see you commented again. T. Higgins or Swift at flex. Have Cook and Bernard at RB1 and 2. This is a good one. You have Cook and Bernard at RB1 and 2. T. Higgins, man, I think it's a full stand with T. Higgins. I think Swift struggles today against a very stud defense, Colts. I think T. Higgins, he's gained trust. He's gained us, he entertained us. He's doing attractive things on the field. He's showing that he could ball. I definitely think T. Higgins from now on should be started. I know we have trust issues with A.J. Green. He's starting to come into his groove, you know what I mean? But I don't think that's going to completely fend off T. Higgins from being, on the field and making plays. So definitely like T. Higgins, Alex. What up? Would you rock with Rojo versus Giants or Deontay versus Baltimore at flex full PPR? Man, because the Baltimore defense is not, anything to slouch on, and Deontay just put up a 30 burger. So I definitely like Deontay in this division game, but you got Rojo against the Giants. My problem here is Fournette is healthy. Fournette is playing. We just saw Fournette put up 15 points last week. You know what I mean? Not that it hurt, Rojo or anything like that. I just think the agenda for this game, they're going to be throwing the ball way more than they're going to be running the ball. So that's just my fear in that. But again, you got Deontay Johnson division game. Division games are really finicky. Like they're kind of weird. You know what I mean? We just saw, Carolina beat Seattle and a lot of random people like Christian Kirk putting up big points. So that's not somebody we had in our starting lineups. But a lot of weird things go with division games. But I'm going with the safe bet here. The safe bet here is Deontay Johnson versus Baltimore. Full send it. Let's get some more questions in here. We got like 10 people in here, 10, 11 people in here. Let's get these questions flowing. I don't want to just be here rambling, going off of, basically my list to start them, sit them. I do like when I get questions. I do like to interact. I do appreciate you guys liking, subscribing, and sharing this feed, the stream, and my channel, my brand. I definitely appreciate you guys joining me, this early Sundays for last minute start-em, sit-ems. So thank you guys. I should actually just pull up my lineup, see what I got. We can start doing things different. Let's not keep the same thing. Let me see if I can do that. But what else we got? What else we got? Alex, I know you got another question. I seen you here last week, I believe, too. Not sure what nickel running back is, but that's what Fournette was named. Yeah. Fournette's going to be the pest. I thought it would be the other way around, that Rojo would be the pest, but no, it's actually Fournette, which is kind of funny. But when Fournette's healthy, Fournette's on the field catching balls. He's showing why he had like 90, targets last year and 70 catches, 75, I think. I think that Fournette will be more involved actually against the Giants in the backfield as a pass catcher. And that's where most of those points are going to come from. He's seeing like 7 targets, so I definitely think he's coming down with at least 5 of them, and plus the yardage, and plus he's going to be running the ball as well. So I definitely like the little 1-2 punch. Pass D droppable, you think? Can snag the Saints off waivers? Nah. I don't think we dropped them just yet. I mean, they haven't been putting up like the points that they put up last year, but I think you don't want to be streaming defenses every single week, honestly, where it's like you're going to get the same amount of points. So based off matchups, Saints defense, you could snag them, but they can end up giving you the same amount of points the past D's can be giving you. Oh, yeah, for sure. We knew that since he was signing. The only thing that hindered Fournette was the injury, but we knew he was going to be injured anyway. He was always injured. His knees, his ankles. His ankles are like 90-year-old woman ankles, so we already knew that was the case. We knew he's going to miss time. Rojo will have his little, splat. He will have his little, show going on, but then it will come to an end eventually, and then here we are. Fournette is back, healthy, and putting up points. Let's talk Cooper Kupp. He's not on my start him, sit him down below, but let's talk Cooper Kupp. I'm going to play the homer role here as a subject. Cooper Kupp giving me trust issues, people. He's good, he's mediocre, and then he's like just shit. You know what I mean? I don't know what the game plan for Miami today will be, but a lot of Cooper Kupp owners are trading him. He's involved in a ton of packages. I don't understand what people are getting in return, but Cooper Kupp is giving me trust issue, vibes. And it's like I can't really trust him for matches like Miami. You know what I mean? Because Miami's defense isn't terrible. It's not bad. It's not as bad as Houston's or Seattle's against wide receivers. But I definitely feel like, Miami, they can actually lock down Kupp maybe, and then it'll be the Weiber Woods, show. It'll be the Josh Reynolds show again out of nowhere. So that's my only problem. That's my only ordeal, where it's kind of like, damn, what do we do with Cooper Kupp? So I do think we should sell Cooper Kupp. I do think Cooper Kupp, has a window that's, closing slowly where you're able to actually get some value out of him. So I definitely think I recommend that you should try to trade Cooper Kupp pretty soon, because come playoffs, man, we're in week 8. Playoffs are around the corner, man. This is the time. This is probably like you're probably moving up on the trade deadline, honestly, at least in my league. You got 2 more weeks before, the trade deadline. You can't trade anymore, and then it's playoffs. So I definitely think right now is the window where you get, a decent value for Cooper Kupp. His name is still selling. His name still rings bells. So I definitely think you need to try to sell Cooper Kupp, because as the season progresses, we're seeing Josh Reynolds get more involved. We're seeing them run the ball more. We're seeing Sean McVay just doing game scripted shit, in the first half, second half. They always change it up. As soon as halftime comes, that's where guys either blow up or guys just don't exist. So in fact, I think that's what we're dealing with Cooper Kupp, because you'll go the entire first half with Cooper Kupp only like 3 targets. Then he'll blow up in the fourth quarter or third quarter or whatever and end up finishing the game with seven targets and like 6 catches and a touchdown. Not bad. You know what I mean? That's pretty dope. But my problem is like trust issues, because then the next game he'll have 3 targets the entire game and that's it. You know what I mean? So that's my problem with Cooper Kupp. So I'm looking for you guys to try to get a nice little package, ship them off while you still can, because there's really like only a few more players out there that that have that tight window that's closing right before playoffs. So he's definitely one of them. What else we got, man? Some good matchups this week too. A lot of rival games. Dalvin Cook back in, starting lineups, which is good to see. As you should. Michael Thomas not playing again. Saints saying they're not going to trade him, but do we really believe that? Come on. We know for sure the Saints are going to try to get something out of him. They could possibly get a first-round pick out of him. I would be shipping him off completely, being that you have these young wide receivers in the camp that can actually step up and, do great things, and you're getting a first-round pick in return, even a second-round pick. You could find a gem there, you know what I mean, for next year. You guys aren't making the playoffs. The Saints are not making the playoffs, so I don't understand why they wouldn't be trying to trade Michael Thomas. He's having issues with the coaching staff. He's talking back to Sean Payton. He's fighting teammates. Seems a little cancerous, you know what I mean? It's like diva mentality, you know what I mean, with these wide receivers that think they're the best. I think they're, above the team, you know what I mean? And then that whole thing with Drew Brees on the offseason, them going back and forth about it. Who knows what that relationship is, man? Who knows what that whole locker room is thinking about Michael Thomas? If me as a GM, as an owner, I will be trying to ship him off immediately, ASAP. Even the Browns thinking about trading OBJ. They know without OBJ, the team runs completely better. Baker spreads the ball around. He doesn't feel like he has to force it to his best player on the team, every single play. I mean, there's plenty of times where we've seen OBJ off of the field and then Baker spreading the ball around. The offense starts moving, and then Jarvis Landry becomes fantasy relevant. OBJ back on the field, what does he do for you in fantasy? Basically nothing. He either boom, or bust. And that's literally what it is with OBJ. It's based on matchups. Again, we never had these questions. Never once did we have to question DeAndre Hopkins. Do we start him this week? Is he boom or bust? Never have we ever had to have that conversation with Devontae Adams. Never with Julio. These were full send guys. But OBJ, he's mentioned talent-wise, with the same guys I just listed. But when it comes to fantasy, we have to question him every single week. You got guys starting him just based off his name. You got people drafting OBJ just based off his name, based off of what we've seen, that one catch that made him relevant ever. You know what I mean? And then when it comes to fantasy, can't really depend on him. He's not on a great team. He's not on a good team to where, they can focus around him. It has to be forced to him, and that's what happens. Bullshit. Even though the Browns have a nice record right now, believe it or not, they're winning games. It's just for fantasy, I can't deal with that. I can't deal being an OBJ owner ever again. I learned my lesson 2 years ago when he burned me in the fucking playoffs, and I literally lost the first round of playoffs because he had quad issues while he was trying to be traded or whatever. Burned me, man, and I traded for him, which is crazy. So I definitely never forgot that OBJ is definitely on my do not draft list as long as he's playing in the NFL. I don't give a fuck if he falls to me in the 5th round. I don't want it. I don't need it. You know what I mean? I'll look elsewhere in the 5th round. I'll go pick up a fucking defense before I go pick up OBJ. That's just how I am with OBJ. That's to the point where I'm at, where I cannot even touch OBJ ever again. Rant over. Moving on. So what's next? What up, my dude? Pick one PPR. Hasty. Man, oh man. Hasty has been coming up in my DMs a lot. Damn, man. This is the problem. They're facing Seattle, division game. You cannot run the ball on Seattle, but you could throw the ball, which is good news. So I'm taking out those two there. But if I had to, man, I guess I would go Dobbins, J.K. Dobbins, you know what I mean? Even though I got him sitting this week, going against a very tough defense that also, holds the run, and he's splitting with Gus Edwards. So, yeah, go with Dobbins, my guy. Good luck. Oh, my God. Oh, that's an old comment. Why did that resurface? But, yeah, Fournette definitely ruined the Rojo show. I think we touched on that for the people who are just joining. Rojo, unfortunately, Fournette's back, taking those passes out of the backfield. But Rojo can't catch anyway. We've seen him drop too many balls. And we've seen Fournette, be able to be trusted, and he can catch balls out of the backfield and become fantasy relevant week to week. I mean, that's honestly what we got to get out of Fournette and Rojo them doing the 1-2 punch. Somebody has to catch those balls. Somebody has to be fantasy relevant. They both can. You know what I mean? Like the Kareem Hunt and Chubb, show. Chubb should be on the way back. I mean, the biggest waiver wire bust, let me touch on that, was the Ernest Johnson, man. Everybody used number one priority waiver on him. They ran to the waivers to go get him. Listen, they were facing Dallas. Of course he's going to put up 95 yards. Of course he's going to look great against Dallas. That's the problem. OBJ looked great again. That was the big game where OBJ went off. And I'm sorry to go back to OBJ, but still, the Ernest Johnson for the last couple weeks have done nothing. And you wasted a waiver wire priority on him, for leagues that do run their waiver wires like that. And it was just very unfortunate. Your fab money. I'm not in any leagues where I have fab money, but that's unfortunate too, where, you just dumped a bunch of cash on this guy and he's done nothing. So that was complete waiver wire bust. But it's week 8, people, man. Hopefully we can get a dub this week. I definitely am encouraging, Victory Tuesday. You know what I mean? Let's come home with a dub. Hopefully I was able to help you guys out. If you are just now joining, make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, the stream, and let's get a win this week. I'm going to head out of here, set up my lineups, and order some lunch, and then I'll see you guys next week for another great episode of Real Deal Fantasy HQ with your boy LQ. Peace.